Hi friends, it's Miss Delana with Greenhouse Music. Before we begin today's chapter, don't forget to grab your 25 Days of Christmas Journey printout so your kids can follow along with the clues right alongside Holly. There's going to be even more clues and challenges and fun little extra tidbits for you. You can download it at green.myflowdesk.com/Holly's Heart, HOLLYS Heart. This will be in the show notes as well. And remember, this Christmas adventure unfolds one day at a time, so be sure to listen in order to keep up with the magic. All right, let's step into the story. The Christmas morning arrived quietly, the kind of quiet you see in a snow globe, where the flurries start to settle, the kind that feels like the world has paused on purpose. Holly woke slowly this time. No nervous Christmas fizz, no nervous flip, just a soft, happy stillness, warm under the covers, wearing her full Christmas pajama set. And yes, it has pockets. She rolled onto her side and smiled before she even opened her eyes. Christmas is here. Her smile spread to her eyes as I spotted the newest green and white envelope pressed up against her alarm clock. A final letter from Papa. And what was even more special, not only would she be able to read his words today, but she would soon hear his voice as well. And that brought even more joy. So much joy she wasn't sure her little body could hold on to it all. Holly sat up fast, aching to read the last edition of her Christmas Journey with Papa. She picked it up carefully and slid her fingers under the flap. She had waited all month for this one. She unfolded the paper and began to read. Holly could hear the phone ring from downstairs and immediately knew who it would be. "Papa!" she yelled. And that was more important than reading the letter. She could not wait to talk to him. She stuffed the letter in her pajama pockets and rushed downstairs. Levi was already there, trying to climb up on Mama's leg to talk to Papa. He knew who it was, too. But it was easy to tell. Mama answered the phone, and her face was full of joy, and her eyes were glossy with happy tears forming. It was a magical scene to watch. Holly knew Mama loved Papa very much, but if she had ever doubted it, she could see it all right there in front of her. Holly tried to practice patience as she waited, but it was so hard. Mama noticed that Levi was getting restless, so she picked him up so he could babble to Papa. In his very Levi way, of course. Holly didn't hear what Papa said, but Levi giggled, and that made Holly even more excited to talk to him. And finally, it was her turn, and she heard the words she memorized by heart.
"Hi, Holly girl."
His voice sounded exactly the same as it did in her mind. "Papa!" she yelled and felt her eyes fill up too. Even if it was going to be a short conversation, she would savor every moment with gratefulness. They talked for a few minutes, and Holly tried to tell him as much as she could about the last few days. She even told him she had begun writing letters back to him and that Mama would send them soon. She told him how excited she was for her guest to arrive and how she was going to be the best Christmas helper who ever helped. Papa said to make sure they had enough sprinkles in the house for the Christmas cookies and hot cocoa, and she responded with a laugh and said, "Mr. Gutsky is even bringing candy canes for the hot cocoa. It's going to be wonderful." And Papa said how happy that made him. Even though he loves and misses them all very much, knowing they were having such a wonderful Christmas was the best present he could have. They said their goodbyes, and Mama said another one, and they sent all the kisses and hugs over the phone that they could, and then it was done. Holly stared at the phone, wishing it would ring again for more time with Papa, but he had told her other soldiers were waiting to talk to their families, so she knew it wouldn't ring again. And that didn't stop the ache, and Mama felt it too. She got down on her knees and gave both Holly and Levi a big family hug, and it lasted a long time. Even Levi savored in it and stayed still, which is hard for a little toddler. When Mama pulled away, she wiped her tears and said a prayer for Papa and the other soldiers and their families. She put her hand on Holly's shoulder. "Are you ready to start Christmas Day preparations?" "I am," Holly said after double-checking her heart. The hug made a huge difference in the ache that she had felt. She missed Papa, but she was also so happy to have a wonderful day ahead of her. The house shifted into motion pretty quickly. The kids ate their chocolate chip Christmas pancakes, of course. The coffee brewed for Mama, of course. The pans clattered and music played in the background. Part of those pans clattering and music playing was Levi, of course. Holly was in charge of tidying up first. The hallways, the entryway, the living room, and the bathroom. A big job for a big helper. Every once in a while, she would get a whiff of whatever Mama was baking and cooking, and it would make her stomach growl deeply with excitement over the food. And it reminded her to keep cleaning because people were coming. Holly helped set napkins at the table, and then Mama asked her to go grab some extra candles from the car. I can do that, Holly said, already pulling on her boots. Outside, the snow had turned slushy and wet. Wind tugged at her scarf, and that was when she saw Mrs. Waverly. She was halfway down the sidewalk, walking carefully, bundled up and holding a casserole dish with both hands. Quickly grabbed the candles from the car and yelled, Mrs. Waverly! Oh my! Mrs. Waverly laughed. I was hoping I would not trip. Holly ran to her side and offered her. I can help, she said, and they walked together slowly. Inside, they felt the warmth hit them when they opened the door. The house was filled with joy and warmth and yummy, yummy smells. Voices layered over one another. Well, mostly Mama's voice and Levi's voice. But soon there would be so much more. In fact, it wasn't long after they got inside that the doorbell rang. Mr. Gutsky arrived wearing Christmas socks with bells on them, and laughter bounced off the walls. Mrs. Marigold soon came, and she brought bread. And Lila Hart showed up with cookies and glitter on her sweater. Not sure where the glitter came from. But she also brought her guitar in a case, just in case they wanted to sing Christmas carols later. Which, of course, Holly said yes to. I mean, who would turn that down? Holly moved through it all, smiling, helping, glowing, maybe a little dancing. And then she heard a voice to ask a question. Is this your papa? Lila Hart asked, pointing to a picture of their family on the wall. It was from last Christmas, when Levi was much smaller. And looking closer, Holly realized she was much smaller, too. Yes, that's him. He's in the army. That's why he sent me all the letters, and I got to meet you. And then, of course, that made her think of what she had stuffed into her pocket that morning. The Christmas letter. Her hand slipped into her pocket with anticipation, but instead of finding the most perfect Christmas letter, it was empty. Empty? She checked the other pocket. Also empty. Her smile faded. No. Lila looked at Holly with concern on her face. Holly, what's wrong? I can't find my Christmas letter from Papa. So Lila began to help Holly search right away. And Mr. Gutsky joined in as Miss Marigold played with Levi, keeping him distracted. She searched the couch. They searched the stairs. In her room, her chest tightened, not with panic, but with loss. She walked into the kitchen where Mama was stirring some hot apple cider. Mama, she whispered, I can't find Papa's letter. And Mama knelt beside her. That's all right, she said gently. We can look together. I've looked everywhere, she said, starting to cry a little. But Mama just persisted. They tried one more time, looking together. And they did. They looked everywhere. And they still didn't find it. Holly's eyes filled with tears as she sat on the couch, and their guest slowly coming back to the living room from the search. I didn't even get to start reading it. Tears fell, heavy and long. Mama brushed Holly's hair back. You still heard him, she said, and you got to live it. Look at all these people who are here because of how much you wanted to share joy with the world. Holly sniffled in between Mama's words. Look at this home and how inviting and tidy it is because of how you helped. Mama said that last little bit, a bit proudly, like she really did need the help from Holly, so that no one would trip over Levi's blocks or step on a ouchie Lego. Lila came and knelt in front of Holly. My family doesn't live here, and usually I spend Christmas performing, not being able to relax or enjoy it, and, it meant so much for you to invite me here. Mrs. Marigold smiled at Holly from the floor where she sat with Levi. I always bake too much to enjoy by myself. It feels so wonderful to have a place to share all the Christmas goodies and people to share it with. Holly started to smile a little bit. Mr. Gutsky sealed the smile when he shook his favorite socks and they did a little jingle. And I really wanted to show these off. Mama looked so proud. You see, Holly girl, whatever Papa said in that letter, you have already learned so much, and guarantee it was just about how proud he was and how you should take all the lessons that you've learned and apply them to your life. Truly live them out, which you are doing right now. And Holly looked around the room. She did feel a little brighter. She began to wipe her tears off her face and stared up at the family picture from last Christmas. Papa looked proud in that picture. And Mama looked happy. And Levi looked, well, giggly. And Holly looked like her adventurous self. Though looking at it, she knew the little girl in that picture was a year away of learning some of the most important and beautiful lessons that she could ever learn. And a knock sounded at the door, pulling attention away. Mama stood. "I'll get it." Holly's eyes wandered over. Who could it be? She heard the voice before she saw him, and the surprise was so thick it could be held. It was Mr. Connors. He made it. Even Mama was a bit surprised. Snow dusted his coat. In his hands was an apple pie. Not from a store. That was the most beautiful apple pie ever. It couldn't possibly be from a store. It smelled like cinnamon and Honeycrisp. He said.
"Hope I'm not late."
"You're right on time," Mama replied. And as she took the pie, Mr. Connors paused. And then he reached into his coat pocket and held out something small. A piece of paper with writing on it. Wet, with the writing a little smeared. And Mama's eyes got big. She knew that paper. Holly knew that paper. And Mama let out a little gasp.
"I found this outside,"
he said.
"Near the sidewalk. Looks as if it's meant for your little girl."
Holly froze. Mama looked at him and then at Holly. Would you like to give it to her, Mr. Connors?" Mama asked softly, and Mr. Connors hesitated. Then he walked over to Holly slowly. She stood up so that he wouldn't have to kneel. He held the letter out.
"Does this belong to you?"
And Holly nodded in disbelief. Mr. Connors, the grumpy man, was handing her the most beautiful Christmas gift. A picture came back to her mind. The wise man that looked like Mr. Connors that she had imagined, bringing gold to Jesus in the barn. And her heart tugged. Even if his journey was just from across the street, it felt significant.
"You were worried,"
he said. A statement, not a question. And Holly nodded. And he gave a small little huff.
"Well, it looks like you did exactly what he hoped you would."
And she took the letter with both hands, and her eyes filled again. And suddenly, Mr. Connors felt two little 8-year-old arms around him, giving him the sweetest, most gentle hug. And that wasn't the surprising part for him. The surprising part was how good it felt, how it felt like being welcomed home. And so he took his arms, and he gave Holly the sweetest, most gentle hug right back. Behind him, Mama noticed something else. There, tucked carefully next to the loop on Mr. Connors' cane. It was so small she could have easily missed it, but it was there. A sticker. A small, pink kitty cat sticker. It was something that even surprised Mama, but she remembered who gave him that sticker. And here it was, right there. Christmas had settled into this house, and the story, the heart of Christmas, at last had come home. Hi friends, from the bottom of my heart, I have to just say thank you so much. I have seen how many listeners that this story has gotten, and it has been the most incredible blessing because this is the first original story and chapter book for kids that I have shared. And as someone who wanted to be an author for most of her life, that is such a beautiful goal to accomplish. And if you are someone that would like to support this journey that I am going on to help get this to more people as I share it and go for publication, I would love it if you could go to green.myflowdesk.com/Christmas. There is all of the songs that I recorded for this whole entire series available. It's like 15 songs, including the original songs and the next one that you're about to hear. All of these are available to purchase and get a MP3 download straight to your phone or your device so that you can listen to the Christmas music whenever, and that will help support this dream of getting this into publication. Out of everything, I've just been very blessed to see regular listeners and the feedback that I've gotten from sharing this story, and I'm so thankful that it has been loved because I have loved writing it. So yes, I read the comments, I look at the messages, so feel free and share how this has affected your family. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful and Merry Christmas. Once again, you can get the album at green.myflowdesk.com/Christmas. It will be in the show notes as well. After today, I will be taking a little bit of a break from the podcast just for a couple weeks to record some new episodes for you for season 3, which is unbelievable. So here is our last song, Heart of Christmas, the song that inspired a lot of this story. An original Greenhouse Music song that was written with students that I have in my studio a couple years back, and it's been a personal favorite of mine. So here is Heart of Christmas, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. There's an atmosphere of Christmas, with all the joy and love in the air, a warmth from the heart of our Savior, a beautiful love meant to be shared. It can't be placed around a tree or wrapped with a bow. The true present is a heart that is full. As we all draw near, gathered in our homes, the heart of Christmas is here. We see a blessing for all we're thankful for, a warm home and a family to share, hearing the church bells at midnight, the angels sing, joined in a choir. It can't be placed around a tree or wrapped with a bow. The true present is a heart that is full. When we all draw near, gathered in our home, the heart of Christmas is here. There's an atmosphere of Christmas, God's own heart given to earth. It can't be placed around a tree or wrapped with a bow. The true present is a heart that is full. As we all draw